on the divan. It seems Allegra's a no-show, which is simply a bore. But I'll partner you in bridge.
Ha! Would that it were so simple.
Cut. 27 Apple, take 2. All right, let's try this. Your line, just say it as I say it. Say your line exactly as I'm about to.
Okay, sure.
Would that it were so simple.
Would that it were so simple.
Would that it were so simple.
Would that it were...
Wait, watch my mouth. Would that it were so simple.
Would that it were so
Would that it
simple.
were so simple.
Would that it were so
My
simple.
dear boy, why do you say that? Why do you say twere?
Well, you said say it like I said it.
Yes, but...
Would that it were so simple.
No, you
Would
seem
that
to be
it were-
lingering. It's interminable, the were. I'm wondering when it'll end. Then we shouldn't be wondering, should we? We should be marching right along to so simple. Would that it were so simple. Trippingly.
Would that it were so simple. Trippingly.
No, don't say trippingly. Say the line trippingly.
Gosh, I can't seem to cinch my saddle up on this, Larry.
Would that it were so simple.
Would that it were so
Calm down.
Would that it were so simple. Would that it were so simple. Would that it were so simple. Would that it were so
Would that it were so
Would that it were so
simple.
simple. Would that it were so simple.
Would that
Would that it were so simple. 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 Simple.
That it were so simple.
Would it were so
Would
simple.
that it were so simple.
Would that it were so simple. Would it were so simple. Would that it were so simple. It's complicated.
All right, let's talk Hail Caesar.
Hail
Coen
Caesar.
Brothers movie. This is my second Coen Brothers movie. No, I'm sorry, third.
What was your first?
Big Lebowski was the first. I saw that when I was a
Oh.
kid, though, so I don't have too fond memory of it. And then we saw Fargo a couple weeks ago, and then
Right.
this one was.
Oh,
so
you
I'm-
just seen Fargo?
Yeah, we just saw it for the first time, and it's funny because like I know all the they say like Brainerd, Minnesota, and all these different locations. I'm like, oh, I know exactly where they are. But I was like, that's like a movie I have to see since I live here. I mean, it's so the accents are perfect because the Coen brothers are from St. Louis Park, Minnesota, which is like
Oh,
right near Minneapolis. So a lot of their films are shot here and based here. So I didn't know that until recently, but I'm still sort of new into the Coen brothers filmography.
yeah, they
Okay.
are someone who, they're referenced a lot. The Coen brothers is like a known, like movie entity. Except, like I definitely grew up. I mentioned, "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou" was like
Right.
a classic. And like I guess probably because Big Lebowski is like very well known. But for the amount of times people reference the Coen brothers, I thought their filmography was going to be like every hit
Yeah.
movie I've ever seen.
Right,
Just 'cause, like that's the way. But I have heard good things about Raising Arizona.
And No Country for Old Men. I really want to see that one.
That too.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
more of a, like a
there are
thriller.
bigger ones. Yes.
Yeah. That's like the one I
Come
want to see because it's more of like a Western, but it's like, I don't know. I really want to see that one.
Yeah. Well, anyways, this one.
But Hell Caesar. I've heard of this
Okay.
and I've seen the trailer, but I didn't really know much about it before watching it. So it's kind of fun to. I love the old Hollywood vibe. Big fan of that.
I feel like this was like trying to portray like golden age of Hollywood, which like I kind of got at first, and then once it got into like the whole communist thing, I was like, okay,
Right.
which was hilarious.
I was kind of in the same boat too, where I like remember the trailer a lot. There's obviously a great cast, but I didn't know much more going into it. And right off the bat, I will say, well, two things. One, I mentioned this when I picked it, how I was like, I hope Jonah Hill's in it a lot. He's literally the only thing he's in is the part in the trailer, which is hilarious. But like and he's like on the phone earlier, and I'm like, oh, that's Jonah Hill's character, but he doesn't. So slightly disappointed there.
Yeah.
But talking about like the world they created, again, more and more I realize that like I like movies that it's so dependent on the world they create, and if I would like to be in that world, kind of deal. And like this movie, like overall, I didn't hate it. I didn't love it, but I loved the world, the like wacky, it's like old school, but it's obviously like played up old school, if that makes sense. And I'm just like, oh yeah, this is a world though that is like it's a fun world that I'd want to be in.
Oh yeah, totally. I love these types of movies because I kind of agree with you. Like I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. But I love the types of movies because like George Clooney's character is based on a real guy. Or no, I'm sorry, Josh Brolin's character is based on a real.
Yeah.
So I love when movies kind of explore or they kind of make an alternate life for these people. Like, for example, I really like this film called Shadow of the Vampire. It's based on the filming of Nosferatu, and Willem Dafoe plays Nosferatu. Basically, no, he plays the actor playing Nosferatu, essentially.
Uh-huh.
And because the whole thing with that movie is that the guy who played Nosferatu, Max Schreck, he was so bizarre and weird. They thought he was an actual vampire. And like, so they basically made that movie of him actually being like a vampire. But so it's actually kind of cool to like see someone based on real people, a real story, but like kind of twist it in their own way. And I feel like this way it was like this movie was similar to that.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Like, cause I feel like, yeah, I don't like that middle ground where it's like, I like if it's based on a true thing and it holds very true, you know, where, you know, it's not a doc, but you know, it's like very true.
Right.
Or like this, where they kind of like, you know what it's based on, but you understand it's this fake exaggerated world. So you still like get it, but you understand it's fake. But there's that weird middle ground where people are like, it's based on a true story.
Right.
But they take so many liberties that like you think it was kind of like a doc, but you don't understand how much liberties they took, you know, and then you're just
100%.
going around saying wrong things.
Yeah.
Like, no,
that's
in the movie.
That's what I love about, like, I love music biopics. Like I'm a huge fan of like, you know, Love and Mercy is the Beach Boys movie. And I mean, I didn't really like Bohemian Rhapsody, but like Beyond the Seas, the Bobby Darin movie. Like I love movies based on like singers and
Rocket Man.
I never saw Rocket Man. It was because it was the same director as Bohemian Rhapsody. So I was like, I didn't really like Bohemian Rhapsody. I don't know, but you need to watch it. But yeah, I love, like, there was a Richie Valens movie and I don't know, they're so good. The Buddy Holly movie. I don't know. I love those types of movies. And like, they're very, I mean, I always kind of do research after and like see how accurate they are. And Walk the Line is like one of my favorites. And I just love when they depict that. But yeah, I also love the other side. Huh?
Who did Walk the Line?
I don't know who directed it. I think it was.
Or no, what did I just think? I don't know.
Walk the Line was directed.
I feel like I was just listening to something.
James
Mangold,
Mangold.
like Johnny Cash.
James
Maybe it was
Mangold.
just a Johnny Cash thing. I was
okay.
listening.
Great.
Maybe
But
a Rick
anyway,
Rubin thing. Yeah.
I love when
anyways.
they're like super like accurate, like you were saying, and then the opposite where they're like exaggerated and kind of made up. It's kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So
All right, that's a wrap.
you guys haven't seen this before, right? Like either of you, right?
No, hadn't seen this one yet.
Okay.
I liked Fargo, and I don't really feel like this gave me the same vibe. Like, to be honest, like I felt like there were some really funny parts in this movie, and they weren't things that I would have like anticipated being really funny. Like that, like the sequence with Mr. Lawrence and if only it were so simple. Like that's not like a downright funny, like if I read that as a script, I would not think that's funny, but the acting really made it funny. And like, there's that I really liked, like, but there was also like just lots of like random like stretches throughout the movie that I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like the big tap dance scene. I was just like, I feel like I looked up and I'm like, where am I? Like, what happened? You know, like, but I feel like in some ways that's the Coen brothers. Like they jump you around and like, it's like parts of it feel like a comedy, parts of it feel serious, parts of, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like different parts of the movie gave off different vibes.
Yep. That's what I wrote down as well. I was like, they have this weird, like this style where it's like, I think it's funny, like, but I don't know if I should be laughing. Cause like when we were watching Fargo, I mean, I didn't really know much about it. And I told Jojo, I was like, oh, this is a comedy. And it's weird because it is a comedy. If you know Minnesota as well, like it's funny in that it's like ironic, but also a lot of crazy shit happens, but it's also kind of funny. It's weird. It's a really weird style. Like it's almost like I wrote down it was like Quentin Tarantino-esque. It's got that sort of weird, like they're almost like I don't want to say because they swear in, you know, they're R-rated movies, but I feel like it's almost like the lesser version of Quentin Tarantino, like almost like a kid's
dialogue
version.
heavy. That's what I think when I think of Tarantino. I think of like really dialogue forward movies.
Right.
And there's like an aspect, like you're saying, where like for like the scene, like those jokes and those scenes and stuff feel so like compartmentalized, like where they just like exist in itself, and then you're back into the movie, But it's that weird like feeling like I love that, like I think it's because they are able to like keep it within itself. How like that, like Joe said, if you read that, it probably wouldn't be funny, the lines. But like the funny thing is when you're watching it and you're like, how long is this gonna go? Like even with the tap dancing, right? Like it's cool, and then you start going like, how long is this scene?
Right.
And like there's that line that kills me, saying the lines over and over. And I just always wonder too, like in real acting, like there's an SNL sketch that's one of my favorites, that's like Beck and Kyle in a commercial, and the whole sketch, it's like a 4-minute sketch, and it's just that the whole time, him being like, the director being like, say it like this, and then he says it and he's like, no, like this. And that's the whole sketch. There's nothing else.
Okay, great. Yeah, try that. Aw, man, I'm all out of cash. Aw, man, I'm all out of cash. No, it's like, aw, man, I'm all out of cash. Aw, man, I'm all out of cash. Sort of like, aw, man, I'm all out of cash. Aw, man, I'm all out of cash. It's kind of like, aw, man, I'm all out of cash. Okay. Aw, man, I'm all out of cash. It's more, aw, man, I'm all out of cash. Oh, right. So it's, aw, man, I'm all out of cash. No.
And I'm just like, I love that they're able to like, in everything they do. I didn't realize it until Joe was talking about the tap dancing scene though. But it's like that whole gist in the whole movie where it's just like one thing that could be a short thing. They're like, let's pull this out to 5 minutes.
Right. It's like, it's almost like Family Guy. It reminds me of that, where it's just like extends jokes. Like it's like there was
longer than they should.
Right,
like,
right.
To the point where you notice it and you're like, okay, when's it gonna end?
Like the
like when
scene.
Peter like hurts his knee.
Oh yeah.
And and it's just like 5 minutes. So
Or like, I think Brian tried to go down the stairs or something, and Stewie's blocking him. He's like, nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Oh, it's so good. Yeah.
Two of the other scenes that like I just thought were really funny, like, but again, like kind of siloed, is like the first one was when the Josh Brolin's character was talking with like the priest and the rabbi and that whole group, trying to like see if if the movie would offend, because it was just like a whole bunch of like circular dialogue that got nowhere, and eventually he's like, yeah, okay, we're good. And then the other one was when I felt like this was really random, but like Channing Tatum's character, when they were out in the boat.
Oh yeah.
And like, first off, like, okay, like I know they're like communists, and that was like a whole big thing in Hollywood back then. But like making it real was like funny enough. And then the thing where like they tossed him the money and then the dog ran up and he just dropped them. I don't know. I died when that happened.
Then he whispered to the dog or something. He's like, why'd you do that?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. But otherwise it's like this like Soviet like ominous music in the background. He's like, oh, why'd you do that?
Yeah.
Talking to this tiny little white dog. And then it made me think, is this poor dog just going to be in a submarine forever?
Yeah, right.
I don't know. It was a strange sequence, but I laughed when at those ones.
Now I have a question for you. I don't know, because is this like does this remind you of Wes Anderson at all? Because I've only seen Rushmore, and I know that's not like his style. I mean, have he's been more recently, but like I just feel like this would be a Wes Anderson style movie. That's just how I'd
say yes and no.
Okay.
Yes, in the sense that like it's a very colorful, well shot, well thought through, like where the camera is and where everyone is.
Okay.
And it's like very like visually pleasing to look at. But I feel like Wes Anderson had a lot more of the like still camera movement across the screen. And I don't think this had as much as that.
What about like the dialogue or the humor? Is that or no? Because like this to me, I was like, oh, I feel like I don't know why, but I just feel like Wes Anderson to have this type of humor.
It feels like to me, like I wrote down when I was watching this that not like it is the same style, but I think I like this kind of the same reason I like Wes Anderson a lot.
Okay.
Is that this though does feel like I agree with Joe, like it's not exactly Wes Anderson. It almost feels like a step towards Wes Anderson. Like here's normal, here's Wes Anderson,
Right.
Coen brothers, and here's something.
It's like
but
Quentin Tarantino, Wes Anderson, Coen brothers.
That's cool. But there's this. It has to do, I feel like, to me, something with the worlds they create, and there's like a quirkiness quality of the world, you know. Wes Anderson's very like overboard on it in his worlds he creates, but there's definitely some aspect to me in here that like has that, where you're like, yeah, this doesn't feel weird. It does feel like this play, like almost kids book-esque quality to the worlds,
right?
If that makes sense. But it did make me think of him.
Okay, I was just curious because I don't know. It's something that I'm not used to this type of movie. Like it's such a weird, interesting style. Like I don't know. I'm just kind of curious and trying to relate it to something. But great cast though. I mean,
Jonah Hill killed it.
I thought Scarlett Johansson was funny in this too.
She was only in it for so short though too. It was so weird. Like she was great, but also Channing Tatum could sing. I didn't know that.
And that guy can do everything.
Which is fun. I don't know. I go between him. Like I think he's good. I don't know. I'm like I like him, but then sometimes I'm like I don't know. He could dance. Give him that.
His wife's a professional dancer, isn't it? Jenna Dewan
ex-wife.
Tatum.
Come on, Jesse. Right. Keep up with the pop culture.
So I'm not up in the times. I feel like I've just always liked him more after like 21 and 22 Jump Street.
He's funny.
Where I'm just like, funny. Oh, he definitely is. He seems like someone who'd just be fun to hang out with.
Yeah. I liked him personally in Coach Carter. So
he was in Coach Carter.
Oh yeah,
man.
Yeah. I love that movie. But Ralph Fiennes. How do you say his name?
Oh,
I only think of Voldemort.
Yeah, I don't know.
I can't think of anything else.
Man, I do not connect these people's roles together.
Also, Josh Brolin, I only think of Thanos.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they made his voice deeper, but like I only think of Thanos when I see him. But I like the musical sequences, which was funny. Because I'm not usually a huge musical person, but I thought they did a really good job of like depicting what it was like back then. Because I've been watching a lot of older movies recently, and like it very much matched up to that. And I love older movies because like they could be a drama or a comedy, but there's always like a musical number somewhat thrown in there randomly. I don't know why, but I love it. It's kind of great.
People want
not like a musical, but it's almost like The Wicker Man. Like there was like musical numbers in there for random reasons. But
again, one of the best soundtracks out there, The Wicker Man.
The
Maypole.
Agree more. Couldn't agree more. We need that on vinyl, even though I don't have a record player. But do you like movies based on like old Hollywood, or like how do you feel about that? Or movies based on movies, I guess too.
There is something cool about old Hollywood. I know it's because we like very much glorify it.
Right.
And like old Hollywood, it's not like I think we'd probably ever want to go back to, but like the way it's portrayed now,
right?
There's like a glorious aspect of it, being like, oh, the glitz and the glam.
We all want what we can't have.
Yeah. And then it's like in the reality, who knows how like glamorous it was.
Right. Right.
But it is cool. There's something about the like 50s too that I love as an era.
Mm-hmm.
Like and it was funny like watching like through Mad Men, say, like that goes through the decades, through the seasons.
So cool.
Like I still love the 50s, and I love the like mid-century kind of like aesthetic, and then it's funny like watching that show, like I hated when they got to the 70s just because I don't like the aesthetics and stuff.
Sure.
Or like probably late 60s, like the druggy
mm-hmm.
kind of like hippie vibes and stuff. But there is something about the 50s I love. I don't know why.
I agree. I'm a big fan. I mean, not all the music I listen to is like, I mean, not all of it, but a lot of the music. I mean, Paul Anka started in the 50s, and I just love that style too. I like the movies. I love the movies, and
that's what I think of with like old school, like the suit and tie.
Yeah.
Like, like that's like the 50s to me.
It's funny that you say Mad Men, because the guy who plays Jimmy, the actor in Mad Men, he's in this. The guy with the big eyebrows.
I kept he popped on the screen, and I know him from so many things, but like it's just funny when you were saying a great cast. I was gonna say like, oh yeah, and there's people like that who like I didn't even know in the cast, and they popped on, and I was like, oh
Yeah.
this guy.
And he's always in like he plays. I feel like he's always in like period pieces, like from the 50s. He's got that look, that vibe about him. Like he Mad Men, obviously.
Yes.
This, and I've seen him in other movies based in like this time period. It's just funny. And then the Ray from Girls, isn't it? For like a really brief second. I don't know if you've seen Girls.
Which one is? I mean, I saw some of Girls.
He's like I don't know. I can't describe him, but he's I don't know. It was just I can't remember who he was. But there was just some random cameos. Oh, Newman from Seinfeld was in it.
Oh yes,
that was great.
He did a good job.
Yeah. But,
oh yeah, I thought that was funny.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point that you said. Like we kind of like we definitely like look up to it. We're like, oh, I wish we could do that, but like I feel like we don't. Like it looks, and it probably is a great time, but also like there's not a lot of good things probably happened around that time.
Yeah, but our nice picture of it is great.
Exactly. Like they paint it in a very good way for sure.
Yeah.
Which is good or bad, I don't know, but and then how about like the narrating style? Like how do you feel about like a lot of movies do that, and I feel like the Coen brothers do that too, where it's almost like there's like a narrator kind of throughout. It's almost like telling the story. I feel like that's a specific style.
I like the narrator kind of story.
Okay.
I don't know, but it also depends on what the story is and how it's being done. Like I don't think not every story would benefit from a narrator. I don't think.
No. Yeah. I think this could have done without for sure. But
there's something I think too, like with earlier these worlds that kind of feel more like there's like a kid book-esque vibe to it, or just something, like even like Knives Out or a lot of those like murder mysteries and stuff, where you feel like a narrator can fit in because you almost feel like you're in a book, but I mean, I agree. If it wasn't, I'm just kind of like indifferent to it.
Yeah. I'm like, it didn't bother me, but like I didn't remember it after I watched it. So but yeah, I love it in like The Grinch. It's like perfect in that, and like those type of movies. I think it's really important. But yeah, I agree. Like murder mystery could be kind of cool because like murder mysteries are essentially a book where you're kind of reading through the pages. So
unrelated, but I finally watched Murder on the Orient Express and loved it.
Ooh.
Oh, wait, the original or the newer one?
The newer one.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, JoJo loved that one as well.
Yeah, but I love murder mysteries. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Sorry, side note.
Very good.
I don't know. Do we have much more on this?
I don't know.
Do we have any locations?
I don't. It's probably around LA. We don't.
I was gonna say it looks like it's mostly sets here.
Yeah.
And did they shoot? Like a lot of it is on like the like Paramount, like
right.
Like Universal Studios lots because it takes place in there. Did they just shoot it in? Did they make sets of?
I assume just because like.
I feel like overdone sets, but
I also feel like the Coen brothers, I mean, from what I kind of try to understand is that I feel like they're good at budgeting. Like I feel like they do things cheaply, but well done. So I feel like they would have totally utilized the studios. But I don't know. I assume, I mean, they had big stars in this, so I assume that they had access to all those places, but.
Sure. Maybe we put a location out in the ocean for the submarine scene.
Yeah, I'm about it.
That would be actually hilarious. I would love to see someone do like a selfie like in the middle of the ocean.
In the water.
There's just a little periscope sticking up.
or like the kind of like what I post on Instagram, like the top photo is from the movie and then the bottom is it's just like the ocean. It's just like, you could do that anywhere, but we need the exact address.
Do it.
All right, I'm down.
What would you guys rate this movie?
Yeah, let's do ratings.
You want to kick us off, Jess?
I'm trying to think about what are our units?
I'm going to do briefcases of cash, briefcases of cash. I for some reason that stuck out. They're like $100,000.
Yeah, same.
I'm gonna go smack dab 7.5.
All right, nice.
Briefcase. again, I like enjoy the world they create. There's like nothing, like it was fun. I really enjoyed the world they create, but there's nothing like inherent, I think, about like the story that I, cared about. So it was like fun,
Yeah.
but it does make me want to dive into basically all the other Coen Brothers movies though, and like rewatch even the ones I've seen.
Okay. That's
just like
good.
all together to kind of get the vibe of,
Right. I feel like the Coen Brothers movies, I feel like they're all just like in the same world. Like I feel like they all have that vibe where it's like they could all exist together, which is kind of cool.
The better Marvel universe.
The Coen universe.
I kind of have similar feelings. Like it was a fun watch. There were moments that I liked more than others. I felt like there were like a moment where there were moments where I was like, that's hilarious. And then there would be like stretches of like, okay, like the story's progressing a bit, but like, a little slower than those like few moments that popped out to me. So I'm going to go with like a 6-8. And I'm going with Would That It Twers. But like, yeah, like it was a fun watch. The cast was amazing. I think that's part of what made it so fun to watch.
Right.
Because it's kind of like what I was saying with that particular scene. It's like, I feel like it's the acting that makes it good. Like if I read it, I don't think it would have hit the same, but it was well executed and it was an enjoyable watch.
That's something I've come to realize from like the Coen Brothers is like, I feel like they rely on their actors to do a good job. Not that their screenwriting is not good, but like Fargo, for example, if Fargo had like random people in it, I don't think it would be the same. Like if Steve Buscemi wasn't in Fargo, no way.
Has to be Steve Buscemi.
Right. Jesse, were you going to say something?
So, I was just going to say, can you give us 6.8 Twitter to Twas?
No, I can't.
Twitter to Twas.
Would it was
all right. Okay, I will go. I'm trying to think of my units here. Tap shoes. What are they called? Tap shoes. Tap shoes. This was fun. I liked it. I loved the cast. There were I love the old Hollywood style. There were some really funny parts, definitely some funny moments. Love movies based on movies. That's always fun for me. But I don't know. I think this movie was kind of an eye opener. Like I really liked Fargo, and I think I enjoyed Big Lebowski. I don't know. I don't know if I can vibe with the Coen Brothers. I don't know if I can vibe with their movies.
He's taking shots at the Academy. He's taking shots at the Coen Brothers.
And
Big Hollywood, watch out.
I think it's the I don't know. I kind of want to know if I'm supposed to laugh or not. Like I think it's the fact that I don't know. The unknown is what I struggle with. Like I want to know what I'm laughing at and why I'm laughing at it. Like if I'm just like, is this funny? Like I don't know. Then I feel kind of stupid, and I'm like, wait, am I don't know get something? But if it's, I don't know. But I do appreciate the jokes that I did laugh at. I really liked, and I thought they were hilarious. But I think for me, I just wish there was more of a line between comedy and non-comedy, which I don't know, because I kind of go back and forth, because in a way, like comedy obviously is, everyone's got their own perception of comedy. Like something is different for everybody. Like I could think something is hilarious and you guys would hate it completely, which I feel like is not a lot of the case, but there's like a lot of cases where there's a lot of things that we think are funny that none of us think are funny. But I don't know. I think that also leads to interpretation, where it's like supposed to be funny, but you don't have to laugh. I don't know. It's such a weird, I don't know how to describe this, but it's like, I feel like that's how they go into it. They're like, we think it's funny and we don't care if anyone else thinks it's funny.
Yeah, that's what I mean. This has kind of come up before, and I definitely see, like with this type of comedy, I definitely see your point, because I see that a lot with people. It's like when it starts inching forward to like what's kind of referred to as like absurdist comedy.
Yes.
Like I love and revel in that, but I totally get why some people are like, what? Like, is this even comedy kind of, and there's, right. You can be on that spectrum, and like kind of be in the middle, but there's definitely something with like absurdist comedy where, again, especially when it starts, the ones that like part of this is it extends for so long, that then you turn to someone and you're like, I don't get if this is still the joke or not.
Right. And like, don't get me wrong, I love like absurdist comedy. Like, I do love like some of the movies that I've seen that have it. I don't know, but like Fargo, I think is a very good example. Like, I thought Fargo was hilarious and the parts of it were supposed to be funny. But again, there was a scene in that movie where like they broke into her house and they were like trying to kidnap her. And there were some things that they did. It was like comical, but like it was a serious matter. And I was like, I don't know if I'm supposed to laugh. I don't know. It was just weird. But this movie obviously was more lighthearted. But yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna go units. I will go tap shoes. I think I'm gonna go 5.5 tap shoes. Yeah, I don't know. I do want to explore more Coen Brothers movies. I do want to see No Country for Old Men and a couple other ones. I don't know. I'm also, this could be a hot take. I'm not the biggest
More
George
hot takes.
I'm not the biggest George Clooney fan.
Hot takes and hot cakes.
I will say I always, this is another hot take, but I only think of him from Spy Kids.
George, oh wow, I love that take. That is the best.
And I love his voice. Like, he's got such a great voice. I don't know. I'm not the biggest Clooney fan.
Yeah, I've become a bigger Clooney fan in the later years. And like after he was on like Dave Letterman's Netflix show, they did a whole episode with him. Okay. And like seeing him more on talk shows. And there is something I've come to love about Clooney.
Okay.
So I'm not canceling you, man. Like I love the Academy. I love the Coen brothers. I love Clooney.
I do want to I would love to hear him do like, I don't know much about, like, I've seen a lot of his movies obviously, but I would love to see like do more film research about him and all that. Cause I'm sure I do like him as a person. I think Espresso Pods, like,
that's what I mean. Like, I think I like him more as a person. So I enjoy some of the stuff now, but like, that one in space he did.
I never saw it. Was that Gravity?
Gravity, right?
I never saw it.
That was not, that was Clooney in space. That was, but definitely not a fan of all.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I feel like with him, it's like, I feel like there's such a high expectation or bar for him. I don't know why. I don't know where it came from, but I mean, he's a good actor. Like I do give him props for that, but I feel like I see him and I expect like a Leo, and it just doesn't, I don't know. I don't know.
What was the hot take from the other week of who you don't like actor?
Oh, Jeff Bridges.
Do you remember? Jeff Bridges. There we go.
And
wait, Big Lebowski, isn't he?
He is the big, yeah, he's literally in the Big Lebowski. I think that's why I think the Coen brothers like these actors that I don't really like. So like, okay, you want to hear another super hot take? This could be a really big one, actually.
I want this to be a separate podcast.
Joe's hot take. Hollywood hot takes.
We should do a hot take episode. It's like the hot ones, the chicken wing thing, but
do our own hot ones with hot takes.
That's actually a great idea. We should definitely do that.
All right, let's do it. But
okay,
drop the next bomb.
Drum roll, please. Let's go. Scarlett Johansson.
Holy Jesus, man.
Oh my God. I love Scarlett Johansson.
Fight me. I know. I get a lot of crap for that one.
Are you crazy?
I will say. I don't know what it is about her. I don't know. She's
blind.
She's so funny. Hilarious. I also love just everyone making fun of Colin Jost.
Oh,
being Scarlett doesn't actually know she's Scarlett Johansson. Like,
that's actually really funny.
Also, like, have you seen Jojo Rabbit?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She was amazing in that.
Oh, right. Yes. Great.
So good.
So good.
I'm not gonna she's a good actress. I just don't enjoy it.
Next you're gonna tell us you like love Jared Leto or something dumb.
I love Jared Leto. So there's a lot of hot takes going on this episode. Also, I could do this all day. No, we should definitely have a hot take episode.
We should have an episode that's supposed to be a movie review, but it just turns into Joe being like, this sucks.
Oh, I could go for another really, really big one, but I don't know if I want to drop it now or later.
Save it for the hot takes episode.
Okay, it's a good one. I'm gonna get it's probably worse than Scarlett Johansson, to be honest.
But oh man, What a
Hey, keep-
cliffhanger. What a cliffhanger. All right.
Well,
Well, do
yeah.
you want to name one person you like? Maybe just like balance the scales.
I might get crap for that too.
Yeah.
Don't
My-
pick-
Oh man. All right. I'll try to go a hot take that I like. Let's see that.
Hot take.
I mean, Jared Leto is a big one, but
All right, there we go. There.
I can think of more, but I can't think of right now.
All right. Well, we'll do a hot takes.
We should definitely do a
Um,
hot take episode.
Do we want to do next movie reveal or movie news?
Let's do. I'll say my movie, and then we can do news.
All
It's
right.
actually kind of a perfect. It almost was a perfect
Segue?
pulp art. It was almost a perfect pulp art.
Perfect. Oh, do you
Uh,
know what do you feel about Kevin James?
He's great.
There we go. All right.
Kevin James should be in more things.
Hot take.
Actual segue. No, I'm just kidding. Leo. We're gonna go on the Leo train because I love my boy Leo. Good in everything he does. Have you guys seen this film with Johnny Depp called What's Eating Gilbert Grape?
Yeah, I mean, it's a classic.
Okay,
It's-
good. All right. I was kind of hoping that you haven't, but
Was that like a first Leo?
it was his first Oscar nom. He was 21.
First Oscar?
He was.
You know, I mean, if he's as good as people say, wouldn't he have more Oscars? Hot
I mean,
takes.
Oh, I love it. Let's go.
Just everything turns into that.
I'm gonna pick
All
that
right.
one because I've been wanting to rewatch that. I don't know. I just love it. It's like a weird, really weird, quirky movie that I don't know why exists, but it's great.
I'm into it.
Joe, you haven't seen this one?
No.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's new for me.
Yeah, I didn't even realize John C. Riley was.
Yeah, he's his friend. I think it's super, super early on, but yeah, I don't know who else is in it, but yeah, it's a good one. I was like, I don't know. I
Into
kind of want to go something like I was gonna do horror, but I was like, nah, I'll give you guys a little break before I do a chain of horror movies.
You know, I'm waiting for like the real like slasher movies. That
I
are
know.
like,
I'm gonna be really choosy with those though because I know you don't enjoy slashers as much. So I'm like trying to figure out which ones you might actually enjoy. So it takes a lot of thought.
I mean, I feel like yeah, if we go slasher though, it's like just go all out.
All right.
None of this middle ground stuff. It's
Okay,
like-
I can do all out. We can do. It won't be like Hostel. Though. It won't be like one of those.
Yeah, that's a little too much.
I won't do that. I'm not gonna put you through that. It'll be tasteful.
Tasteful.
Tasteful horror.
The scenes.
Yeah,
It'll be.
this cast is crazy.
Yeah, right. I haven't watched it in forever, but it was I think it was shot in Iowa too. So oh yeah, Juliette Lewis. I forgot she's in it. She is the funniest. Oh my gosh. Camping. I just think of the show Camping. And she is you guys have seen Camping, right? Or Jesse, you watched it with us a little bit, right?
Yeah, when you posted about it the other day, I was like, oh, I should finish that
Oh.
because I don't remember how I watched a ton when I was staying with you guys.
Yeah, there's one
Uh,
season. Joe, you should watch. I think you and D would really dig it. It's about like this couple. They go camping and like they have their siblings and some of their friends. It's just so. It's a one. I think it's a one-off. I don't know, but it's on HBO. I think, but it's hysterical. Like I kind of went in and I was like, I don't know. I don't know. It didn't at first when I started watching. I was like, I don't know if I like this, but it got really good as it went on.
I think it does feel like Joe and D would like it.
Yeah, I think you guys would dig
I
it. It's
did.
fun.
Let's check it out.
Yeah, you should check it out. That was a good transition to movie news, by the way.
Solid transition. Trying to think. Bo Burnham's new special releases today, I believe.
Ooh, have you seen it? You haven't seen it
Kubrick.
yet?
No, I think it goes on, or it's probably on Netflix today already.
Okay.
I think May 30th. Super pumped for that though. He recorded it all by himself in his house over the pandemic.
That's pretty cool.
So
how? Like, does he have like a stage or something, or does he like?
well, there's no. I don't think he has an audience in it. I mean, Bo Burnham's done really interesting stuff in terms of stand-up specials. And he's like directed other people, you know, and obviously he's done eighth grade and like a lot of stuff. Like he definitely has a unique take. So I'm so excited to see it because it's not going to be like the other stand-up. It's not going to be a normal stand-up special.
Right.
But
That's what I really like that
knows?
about Bo Burnham, though. I think that's why he's so talented. Like he can literally do that. Like I fully trust that it'll be good just because he's good at what he does and he's passionate about it. Like I almost picked 8th Grade. I was like this because I love that movie. That was so good. He needs to do more
glad
movies.
to hear.
I love Bo Burnham, dude. He's so talented. He reminds me of like Seth MacFarlane. Like they have a similar like they're so talented. They're so funny.
They're both so smart too.
Smart, exactly. They're super smart. Yeah.
Like Bo Burnham's able to like when I listen to him on like podcasts and stuff, he's obviously like really well spoken and like they're like really well thought out. Yes. You know, like you can tell how much he thinks about things, you know, and like, and he's able to convey these like ideas that he has about like just life and stuff through these like hilarious comedy songs that are so goofy, but they convey these huge messages kind of. I don't know. It's a weird talent, you know, but, and so also,
smart. Oh my God.
He was in Promising Young Women.
Yeah, he was like
was he a big part?
He's a big role. Yeah,
I didn't see that movie, but I like, you know, typed it in and he popped up and I was like, oh wait, he was in that?
You need to watch it. He's really good in it too. Like I really like him as an actor. I think he needs to do more filmography. Like he's a direct more, he's a act more. I think he's great.
Yeah, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
He has a lot of hot takes on Hollywood too.
Does he?
So
I love it.
Yeah, because he's someone who like a lot of his stuff's on it too. Is like he just about like how ridiculous it almost is, you know, and like that he doesn't. He kind of is like, why are we the famous people that are looked up to, kind of, you know? And it's really interesting him talking about late night shows now and how he hates them. I won't try to talk too much about it though, because he's very well spoken on it. Don't want to put words in his mouth, you know, but like how like Dave Letterman had this aspect of like where he would make fun of the celebrity who he was interviewing, kind of.
Okay.
Like, I don't remember if you guys remember like the early Justin Bieber when he was on Letterman, and Letterman was like, he had like the tattoos, and Letterman's like, oh, don't keep going to get like more tattoos. And Justin's like, don't worry, I won't. Some joke about the 16th chapel, the Sistine Chapel. And Justin says, don't worry, I won't become the 16th chapel. And like, you know, and so everyone's laughing, but like Justin doesn't realize obviously what's wrong, you know, and Dave just goes like, Canadian public schools, everybody, you know, and it's like, and like he has no clue what's going on.
My God.
But like there was this aspect of Dave where he would just like make fun of the whole idea of like celebrity, you know, and like so Bo Burnham was like talking about that and how like that there isn't that anymore, and there's just like, I don't know, again, just very curious to see what this special is too.
Yeah,
see what it touches on. But
and I feel like with him, it's like with Bo, it's like I feel like he obviously he was gonna become famous, but like he was just posting videos to like make music and share with people. I feel like he wasn't trying to become famous, and then it just kind of happened. And he's done a really good job of sticking to his like passions. I feel like he's not doing like shitty blockbuster like bad movies. Like, I mean, hot take. I love The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, but like he does some really bad movies. It's like I feel like Bo Burnham is like he's got that fame, but he's very picky and choosy, which I really respect, because it's hard because like people throw all this money at you and you're like, it's so easy to accept it. And he's like, no, I want to make something that I'm actually passionate about, and I can like Promising Young Woman. He like even though his role was like it wasn't his movie, but like you could tell he was still like he wanted to be a part of it because it was such a compelling story.
I've heard him go off on a hot take about this exact thing, you know, where he's like, basically like, if you are The Rock, don't do the worst commercials. Like, you know,
literally though. That's hilarious.
Yeah. He uploaded a video, you know, YouTube barely was YouTube in those days because he wanted to show the song to his brother who was in college.
Right.
And so he just was like trying to type in like, how do I send a video? And it was like this YouTube site, and he like uploaded it.
I love it, dude. I respect it so much. That's awesome.
Hilarious.
We saw Quiet Place 2 yesterday or Friday.
Oh, how was it?
Don't ruin it.
Amazing. I'm gonna say it was amazing. I liked it better than the first one.
Wow. Okay.
All right.
It's phenomenal. Like I don't know how the hell they keep things original and like the sound design. I mean, it's from the first one. Have you seen the first one?
No, but I would.
I think you would really like it. Like Jojo really liked them both.
That's a good.
It's a good like median. Like it's not super scary. but it's like it's still a horror movie, but it's not
It's
like terrifying.
suspenseful.
It's oh my gosh, it's suspenseful. But it's
There was
they play on this amazing like so the girl who plays she's deaf in real life as well, but she also plays the deaf. She's first of all, she's amazing. She's such a great actress. But they play with sound design so much, like she can't hear, then they transition it so well. It's great.
I forget what it was that he like, because since it came out now, like Emily Blunt and John Krasinski have been doing like the late night and press, so you're seeing them pop up, and they're both so good and hilarious. They're both just seem like great people.
Yeah.
But John, I was like on Colbert for like the whole episode, just like sitting in on the studio, and there was a point where he mentioned they were talking about like, did you set out to write a horror movie? Like coming from The Office and stuff, and he was like, I forget exactly what he said, but it was along the lines of like he wanted to write a family drama, but in some certain way, like he figured out that this was such a great way to tell a family drama kind of thing. But like being like, I wasn't like, I need to write a horror movie.
Right.
But super interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. He needs to do horror, man. He needs to keep doing it. He's just killing it. It's so impressive. It's like
him and Jordan Peele.
Oh, and Ari Aster.
Maybe do a little collab. I'm gonna start having hot takes like Jordan Peele not that good, Ari Aster horrible.
Well, speaking of that, it's funny that you said it's this family drama because Ari Aster, when he was writing Hereditary, he literally wrote it as a family drama, which it is, but it's like those always stem, like the genre films always stem from that sort of thing. Like Midsummer is a breakup film, like it's literally stemmed from all this other stuff. But yeah, dude, it was the first time we went to the theaters since last February.
Wow, that's crazy.
Well, I was gonna say with John Krasinski, like his whole big thing was that like TV show he did out of his house.
Some
at
good
the beginning
news
of the pandemic.
He's such a good, cool person.
I love that they waited for the theaters for this because when Emily Blunt was on James Corden the other day, they showed how she was actually one of the last guests in studio before the pandemic to promote A Quiet Place 2.
Interesting.
But 2 hours before the show, she got the news that it wasn't going to go to theaters. They were going to pull it. But she still had to go on the show and promote it like it was going to, even though she already had known it wasn't. Kind of deal, and they just waited because they wanted it in theaters.
I will say,
they were like, you have to experience
you got to see this. You have to watch this in theaters. Like these films are, I mean, obviously you can't see the first one in theaters now, but Jesse, but this is such a theater.
We can make it happen.
It's literally the quietest theater I've ever been in. Like everyone's quiet the whole time. It's incredible. You got to see it in theaters. And I actually really like how they block off every other row because no one's sitting in front of you.
Oh,
it's actually really nice. Like I love the social distance
worst.
theaters. I hope when
you get like a
tall person with big hair.
I just always remember when I saw Mamma Mia in theaters with my family and the whole theater was like 80-year-old women. And I was just sitting behind this lady with this huge like hair. And then after the movie, someone was like what I thought of it. And Rich just goes, frizzy.
That's amazing.
It's like, that's the worst. Being a short person, someone sits in front of you and you're like,
I know. Yeah.
Was it old school theater seats though? It wasn't one of those theaters where it's like all lazy.
No, it's like an old small town theater. It's really nice actually. I love the small town theaters.
Yeah. Quick possible hot take.
Oh, sorry. Go for it.
I was gonna say quick hot take. Do you like the old school theater seats or do you like the new kickback? Like
it's hard because I prefer the old school theater style. Obviously, I think of just like, I don't know. I don't know why I think of this, but like there's a scene in Donnie Darko where he goes to the theater with his girlfriend and it's like, I don't know, that's like the epitome of like what I want to do. No one's in the theater. You're watching Evil Dead, the only two in the theater late at night. But I prefer the old school for sure. My only issue is that a lot of them creak. So it's like, it gets really annoying. But other than that, they're great.
All right. Cuffney, what do you think? Where are you on?
New seats because they recline, and I love recliners.
See, I'm not a reclining. I literally sit up in movies. Like I'm like I sit forward in theaters because I'm so into it. But What about you, Jesse?
What? I don't know. I love the like almost middle ground. I think I like comfortable old seats.
Yeah,
Because again, I don't think I like, but there's something I love about the theaters that are real like weird old school, or like that McMinimans one in Portland
yeah.
that we saw Aladdin.
Oh, right.
in. Great. If no one's ever seen Aladdin, it's a great film. Brand new story, brand but like stuff like that just is like interesting, and you're in there before and there's like weird things on the walls and like the dome kind of, and
Yeah.
just something like you feel like it's like you're transported into this weird room. We'll see.
I don't know. I'm just excited theaters are back and running again. It's feels somewhat normal.
Were you gonna say something? I mean, I might have.
Oh, I was gonna
train of thought.
I forgot what I was gonna say, but yeah, I don't remember. It'll probably come back to me at some point after we record this. But it was great. Quiet Place 2, highly recommend it. Theaters for sure. If you can get to one, I would definitely recommend it.
What was the last movie you saw before?
Invisible Man.
Okay, right.
That was in the same theater too, which is funny.
Ooh.
But it was yeah. It kind of reminded me of Joe, the Magic Theater at Cinemagic. It kind of reminded me of that one a little bit.
I love that theater.
Yeah, that's like the one that was the one you're asked. So.
That was the one across the street.
Yeah.
From your place, right?
But yeah. And then we saw this film called Kid Detective with Adam Brody. Super interesting. Have you guys seen it?
No, but it just from the title, I already can tell it's like, I feel like it's not, but it sounds like such a like 90s like Air Bud film.
Oh, it's not that at all.
No, I know, but from the Kid Detective, it just sounds like Kid Detective. Like,
I don't like the name, but very interesting film. It's literally if Nancy Drew is older, like what happens after Nancy Drew when she becomes like an adult. It's actually really interesting. Like I didn't get some of the humor. Like I was like, I don't know, this isn't really funny, but it was like supposed to be kind of funny and ironic, but also like a drama. It was really strange. I don't know if you're looking for like a weird like detective movie, like with Adam Brody, small town, throw it on. I'm curious to hear what you think about it. But
if you're looking for some with like bad comedy, Adam Brody, throw it on.
But yeah,
and then
I've been watching a lot of like older like Mickey Rooney movies because I've realized how amazing he is as an actor, because I haven't really seen much of his movies. And then I realized also, I feel like if I was an actor, it'd be young Mickey Rooney. He's so like energetic and like bouncing everywhere, and he's like doing multiple things at once. And I just watched this film where it was called Love Finds Andy Hardy. It's with Judy Garland and Mickey Rooney. Mickey Rooney's girlfriend goes out of town, and then Mickey Rooney's friend is going out of town as well, and they have a big dance coming up. So his friend was basically like, hey, can you take my girlfriend to the dance so no one scoops her up, basically, because this is classic 30s mentality. And so he's basically dating, and then his girlfriend ends up coming back. So he's kind of dating two girls, and then Judy Garland's like in love with him as like the neighbor. And it's just like, he's kind of just like, I don't know, his mannerisms. Like if you haven't seen any of his movies, you should just watch some of his scenes. And I'm like, this would be me if I was an actor. Like
I'm all for it.
It's hysterical.
You should try to get into the acting game.
I don't know if I could. I've tried it before, dude.
You've been in a few movies, so
I
mean,
I am uncredited, which I'm kind of bummed about. I wish I was credited in the duo.
Yeah, just give your boy Adam Sands a ring. We talked about it before.
Yep.
See what he's got going.
I could figure it out. Happy Madison Productions, be one of their Netflix regulars. But yeah, that's what we've been watching, or I've been watching.
Yeah, I think that I've been watching all the new HBO stuff, but I think I've mentioned it, like Mayor of Easttown.
Yeah.
This new show called Hacks. It's like Jean Smart, and I'm blanking on her name. She's the daughter, though, of someone who's in the original cast of SNL, like the first season cast. I didn't know her name before, so
okay.
But it's very funny. It's a good 30-minute short show, super funny.
All right, I can get into it. I watched The Philadelphia Story. I don't know if you guys have seen that. Jimmy Stewart, Cary Grant, Katharine Hepburn. Great movie. It's so funny watching these old movies because like there's such a how they act towards each other. Like there was a scene where Katharine Hepburn and Cary Grant's character, they like divorced basically or broken up, and she's like yelling at him. He comes over and just like palms her face and like throws her down. And I'm like, this is just like normal back then. Like this is just like when people get slapped, it's like so normal, which is also really funny because that was such a thing. And then like it took a huge break. And then I was telling this someone the other day, and it was like, then I was in the theaters for Wolf of Wall Street. And there's a scene where Leo, I think he hits Margot Robbie or like slaps her or something. And everyone gasped, which is funny because the audience was all older, like, cause like they know the story, Jordan Belfort's story, but they were a lot older. And I was like, these people were definitely around when these movies from 30s and 40s and 50s were made where people were slapping each other, but they were the ones gasping. And I was like, this is weird because they grew up with that. There was a huge break. And now it's like, I don't know. It's kind of shocking to see nowadays.
There was, yeah. I mean,
which it is shocking.
Slap anybody, Yeah.
It's not a good thing, but
Hail Caesar, that guy slapped some people.
Right.
There was some big, just like
that was a funny part of that actually when he did that. All right. Anything else? I know Jesse's thinking right now. I can see it. No Bowfinger. Didn't watch that one again. We almost didn't mention it.
Oh my God, we almost didn't. We barely did. I feel like next week it's gonna be gone. Yeah, no.
Right.
No.
Well,
I'm good.
What's eating Gilbert
I'll
Grape
save my hot
week?
takes till next week.
I'm like expecting some pretty hot takes now from you. It's you're just gonna write a list of them or something. I'm kind of nervous.
Yeah, maybe I will. Maybe. I don't think they'll beat your hot takes though, but
I got way more where those came from. I can keep
right.
going.
Maybe we do one special episode where we do hot wings and
can we actually? That would be so fun.
Yeah.
Let's
figure it out.
All right, let's do it. Let's do that. We're gonna do a hot take, hot ones. Or no, we'll call it hot takes. We'll have to come up with a clever name for it.
Hot cakes.
Whoa.
And I'll bake some hot sauce cake. We'll figure it out. It's in the workshop.
All right, works for me. Well, we'll see Leo and Johnny Depp next week.
Bye.
The wrap.
But do me a favor, don't go nuts. You know what I mean?
No, I won't.
Because more and more you see like the mural and the Sistine Chapel on it's too much.
I'm not going for the 16th chapel. Look.
Canadian high school.